かけてみようか縁取られた奇跡から充満してく術を挑戦のオーバータイム導くジェニュアなノウハウ熱く燃えたぎる鼓動を破裂しても
Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Eden Zero episode 26, which is also the first episode of season 2. Now before I get to the actual review, I just want to address a few things, including a bit of shilling of myself to new viewers. And if you couldn't already tell, I am a huge Hiro Mashima fan. I think I've done close to 100 videos just on his content alone, including reviews of the entire original Fairy Tail manga series, with reviews of 100 Years Quest coming very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. I've also reviewed the first 21 volumes of the Eden Zero manga, which as of right now in the US, they've released up to volume 21. I believe in Japan, we're up to volume 26 or 27, but the localization always lags behind by a little bit. And I even did 2 videos on Eden Zero Season 1, which you can find all these videos in the playlist section of my channel. So if you're new here, please check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Now, another thing I want to address is the fact that Netflix did not renew for Season 2. And as far as I can tell, the global distribution belongs to this French company called MediaToon. And I don't know how you can legitimately watch it in the US. As far as I can tell, in Japan, you can watch it on Hulu, and then in France, you can watch it on MediaToon. I don't know. I've tried to search information to figure out how you can properly watch it, but to no avail. Netflix does not have Season 2. I don't even have Netflix, so if someone does have Netflix, can you check it and see if Season 1's still there? Because I don't even know. But, yeah, if you've been on the internet long enough, you know where to watch anime. But I'm just very confused as to if it's going to even air legitimately in the US, because it's not going to be on Hulu. It's going to be on Hulu in Japan, and then in the US, who knows? And this puts into jeopardy the case of an English dub, which I thought the English dub with Season 1 was excellent. I mean, you had Sean Chiplock, Kira Buckland, Ray Chase, so many great casting choices there. So, I don't know, it's just a shame, and I hope it doesn't get the Rave Master treatment where it gets canceled because of low views and no one knows about it. Because, as far as I can tell, this is the only series I'm watching for the new anime season. I mean, I watch mostly retro stuff with very few modern shows. So, I don't know. It's just sad because I guess, you know, the normies aren't going to watch it, but oh well. Now, on to the actual review, and it starts off with Xiao Mei, who is the narrator of the series, who pops in every now and again and breaks the fourth wall by either talking to the reader in the manga or the viewer in the anime. And she gives us a brief recap of what happened in Season 1. Like 3 minutes worth of a recap. Nice refresher. And the first 25 episodes was basically the introduction to the series. How Shiki met all his friends. How he met Rebecca and Happy. Weiss and Pino. Homura. The Shining Stars. Witch, Sister, and Hermit. And the first major arc was finding the Shining Stars, which it was easy enough to find Witch, Sister, and Hermit. But looking for Valkyrie led them to the planet Sun Jewel, where they learned that Valkyrie had sacrificed her life defending the people of that planet. And then we got a great character arc for Homura, learning that Valkyrie was Homura's mentor and motherly figure. So Homura agrees to take Valkyrie's place as the fourth Shining Star, and our heroes continue their quest looking for Mother. So among all that, of course, they have their powers, which is Ether Gear. Shiki has gravity ether gear. Weiss is really badass, man. He has this thing called Machina Maker where he can manipulate machines. And he has this awesome mech suit called Arsenal. Homura can wield swords with her ether gear. And then Rebecca lagged behind, being the last to activate her ether gear, which is called Cat Leaper, which as of right now makes her super fast. But we learn later on in this arc that it's more than just that. And lots of implications for the future of the story. So it starts with some nice banter between all the characters where Rebecca is like, I'm faster than you guys. I got my Cat Leaper ability and I can go super fast. So they have a race, and Pino wins the race by activating her EMP ability, which disables all ether, including the robots and the ship. And there's this funny scene with with Hermit yelling at Pino, like, don't activate EMP, the ship's gonna crash because of you. So I like how it was a nice lighthearted scene at the beginning. And then it cuts to Witch talking to Homura, you know, instructing her what to do, and that she's the new Valkyrie. and taking her to Aetherion, code 3173, which if you've read Ravemaster, that's Ellie. And you gotta love Masha with all his references to his prior works. I freaking love it. So we got that. And then you get this great scene where after the race or whatever, Rebecca is in the bathtub and some sexy fan service scenes, but she passes out and has this premonition of the future. And I really love this scene, how they had like darker shades and like this dark outline around all the characters. And she's looking at this desolate wasteland and sees an older, more edgy looking Shiki who is destroying all these robots. And if you know Shiki, he doesn't like to harm a fly. He wants to be friends with everybody and sees no difference between humans and robots. So Rebecca is taken aback by this and starts trying to talk to him. And then he says, oh, your dead cat happy? He can't do anything. So this is a nightmare Rebecca's having, seeing a possible future perhaps. So she wakes up and she's in the infirmary with Sister, and there's this funny scene with Moscow, who's wearing like bondage gear, because the thing is with Sister, she's into kinky shit, and Moscow is sort of this gag character who shows up every so often, and he has this button on his belly button that says "Don't push," and there's this ongoing little story arc of when will he push the button? Soon enough, I suppose. So while Rebecca passed out, our heroes saw this giant ship tailing them called the Belial Gore, which is led by Draken Joe. Now, we saw Draken Joe in Season 1 sort of tailing the Eden Zero, and he is after the Aetherion on the ship for his dastardly plans. And we saw there was this other guy named Jamilov from the first story arc who was an underling of Draken Joe's. So he's been in the background and he becomes the main villain for this story arc, and he's tailing them. And of course, Shiki doesn't like that, so they agree to land on the Belial Gore, which is like this space station. It's a ship, but it's also a space station that has all sorts of people on it. So they're on there looking for Draken Joe, or whoever. They don't know it's Draken Joe at this point, but they're looking for whoever's following them, whoever's commanding the ship. And they get sidetracked. Like White starts playing poker. They go to the strip club and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then they run into this dude named Seabeer, who was also from the first arc, except now he's 50 years older. And if you also remember, the Weiss in with the Eden Zero here is the younger version of Weiss. There's two Weisses, and there's time travel, time paradox shenanigans all throughout Eden Zero. But it turns out the older Seabeer is actually a good guy, and has a new way of life in his old age. So as they continue the search for Draken Joe, they see on the big screen TV in the space station that Draken Joe is there, and he knows that Eden Zero is on his space station, and he's going to find him and kill him and take the Aetherion. So it ends with 3 of his associates making their way onto the Eden Zero, which, the main group, we have Shiki, Weiss, Homura, and Pino on the Belial Gore, and then everyone else is on the ship, and there's going to be an ambush, and lots of good stuff. Lots of great action and intrigue for what's going to happen next. So now I'm going to show you some of the screenshots so I can elaborate on some more things. And it was really beautifully animated. Lots of great fan service. Like Mashima, with each new series, he gets hornier and hornier, and we love it. At least I love it. So this is Xiaomei. Now, another thing too, because like I said before, it's on this French streaming site. There is English subtitles, and it's done with like almost a French accent. They refer to every character as a he or him, which, obviously there's female characters, so I don't know what that's about. And this is interesting too, because Draken Joe is part of the Oration 6 Galactica, but with this translation, they call them the 6 Galactic Generals, which I kind of like that name, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I like the Oration 6 because it just sounds badass, but this is cool too, the 6 Galactic Generals. So it starts off with Smug Rebecca, looking mighty fine, if I do say so myself, with her Cat Leaper Ether ability activated, and I even have a zoomed-in shot of her, and they agree to have a race. Here's, like, the main group here. There they are picking on each other, like Rebecca saying, I'm faster than you. No, you're not. I am my Machina Maker. And it cuts to Witch and Homura talking about Aetherion, and reminiscing about Valkyrie, who had sacrificed her life for the people of Sun Jewel. And then they're looking up here at the Aetherion itself. Code 3173 Ellie, because if you turn it upside down, it's Ellie, and that's a reference to, of course, Ellie from Rave Master. So they have their race, and I love Weiss's Arsenal suit. We will probably see him in action in this suit either in the next episode or in episode 28 in his fight against Laguna. So Pino uses her EMP, and Hermit's like, "Don't do that again! You're gonna shut down the ship if you do that! Are you crazy?" So again, we get some beautiful fan servicey shots in the bathtub, and she passes out and has an awful nightmare. Where, again, this is them showing, like, the future, the premonition. And they do, like, these outlines here? It was just done so well, man. And she sees this desolate wasteland, all these robots laying siege to whatever planet this is. And then Shiki coming in to save her from this, like, bazooka bullet or whatever. And he tells her that, you know, the stupid cat Happy, he's worthless, he's dead. And all these robots laying siege, and she's looking at him like, "What do you mean Happy's dead?" And just the look in her eyes, like, "Oh no." But she wakes up, she's in the infirmary with Sister. I don't have the screenshot with Moscow and his bondage gear, because it's honestly, I don't want to show it to you. If you watch the episode, you know. And Sister, despite looking like a nun, she's into some sick shit. So this is the Belial Gore space station following them. And we also learned this is a part of Gilst. So in the first story arc, the planet Gilst was devoured by a chronophage, but this was able to escape the planet. Right? So they make their way to the landing deck, and we get this nice shot of them, although I think my face is in the way of Homura. Oh, you can kind of see it. There you go. So they're there, and they split up. And there's Draken Joe, which it transitions here. The Dark Alchemist, which, again, the translation's a little... Like, in the manga, they call him the Dark Alchemist, but here it's the Alchemist of Darkness. I like the Dark Alchemist better. And Rebecca gets her new sexy outfit. Hell yeah! And they get sidetracked on the Belial Gore with Weiss playing poker with these dudes. And then they go to a strip club, which I took this screenshot just so we could see their faces, but it starts with them like over here and it goes that way, so you see this chick on full display in her stripping outfit, and you get like the, hold on, do I have it? You get the wow sound effect. So there you go. But yeah, they run to Seabeer, who's an old man 50 years later. And in the first arc had mutilated Pino, was like taking Pino apart because she's a robot for you know, spare parts. But now they've reconciled, and we see Draken Joe on the big screen. He's like, "Oh, Eden Zero crew, don't think I saw you." And just as he's showing himself on the monitor, his three subordinates make their way to the Eden Zero spaceship. And in this scene in the anime, she's bouncing all over the place. God bless. So yeah, all these things show up, and then he puts up a picture of them so everyone can look for him, and then he sends his Element 4 after him. So Intruder's on board, and we get a silhouette of all of them. I forget their names, if I'll be honest with you, because they don't say it here. I know the chick's name is Maria. I think one of them's named Seth and Diego. I don't remember, but the one chick is Maria. And of course, she's sexy as hell. But cool designs, they're going to kill everyone. And this was a screenshot from the first season when it showed them. Because it showed Draken Joe scheming in the first season, but now he's the main villain. So this was also a piece of art that Hiro Mashima posted on his Twitter on Saturday to celebrate Season 2. So I gotta love it. So yeah, I very much enjoyed this episode. It was fantastic. I love Eden Zero. I love Hiro Mashima. My only problem is no one knows about it, and people write it off as Fairy Tail in Space, which it's not. It's hard for me to really say which one I like more, because I love Rave Master, Fairy Tail, and Eden Zero, but it's not Fairy Tail in Space. It's a completely different story. I mean, the characters look the same, but that's what he's always done. I mean, compare Jalal to Sighart. I mean, that's what Masha's always done. But yeah, I hope more people watch this. If anyone knows like what the deal is with the streaming, let me know. Again, I don't have streaming services, so I'll just watch it the way I want to watch it. But I do like to buy the physical media, the manga volumes, and I'd love to buy a Blu-ray, but with the whole deal with Netflix, I don't think there'll ever be a Season 1 Blu-ray. I hope there is, but I doubt it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. I'm going to be reviewing this series every week, probably Monday or Tuesday. So we got 25 weeks of Eden Zero content. So thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Peace out.